Welcome back to the Bourbon Jerk. Thanks for your click. So if you're thinking of expanding your whiskey game into ryes, where do you start? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about 9 ryes that you've got to try. Maybe asking, what's the difference between bourbon and rye anyway? Well, the main difference is the mash bill. Now, bourbon has to be at least 51% corn, whereas rye has to be at least 51% rye. The rye grain tends to lend a bit of a spicier flavor profile than bourbons tend to have. Common notes that are often associated with ryes are black pepper, cinnamon, clove, and spearmint. With that out of the way, let's get into the 9 ryes that you've got to try. First, we've got Sazerac Rye, which is technically part of the Buffalo Trace profile. It's nicknamed Baby Saz, and it's a very approachable rye, but this one definitely has a little bit of a kick to it. To me, the finish is much bigger than you'd expect at 90 proof. It's under 30 bucks. It's fairly easy to find, and it's also great in a Sazerac cocktail. Next, I've got Woodford Reserve Rye. Now, this is actually the first rye that I ever purchased a bottle of. I find it to be very approachable. Proof is on the lower side at 90.4, but I feel like it's a good introduction to rye. It's 53% rye, so the rye is relatively subtle. It's an easy bottle to find, and it goes for about $40. Next, we've got Green River Rye. Now, I picked this up recently, and I'm really impressed with it. It's a 95.5 rye, meaning that it's 95% rye and 5% malted barley. I feel like this is going to be a go-to summer sipper for me. Comes in at 95 proof, and it packs a ton of flavor. Give this one a shot. It's an excellent value at 35 bucks. So I've got Sagamore Double Oak Rye. If you're already a bourbon fan, this might be the perfect crossover bottle to turn you on to rye. It's a blend of low rye and high rye whiskeys. It's 4 to 5 years old, and then it's transferred into toasted barrels for another year and a half. It drinks a little bit more like a bourbon. It's got a lot of those nice vanilla and caramel notes on top of the rye notes. Nice layers of flavor here. Now, this is one of my favorite whiskeys regardless of category. Super easy to find, for around 65 bucks. Next, you've got to try the New Riff 6-year malted barley. Mash bill on this one is 100% malted rye. When I first tried this, I was just blown away by the spice and the lasting finish. It's got an excellent, sweet, rich mouthfeel. It's just another rye with layers of flavor to dig into. I know I've mentioned this in other videos before, but you really can't go wrong with any of the New Riff ryes. So if you can't find this one, their core bottled and bond rye or their single barrel ryes are also excellent. Next, you've got to try the Pikesville Rye from Heaven Hill. While the Woodford Reserve and the Sazerac ryes are good beginner level ryes, this one feels a bit more like an intermediate level rye. It dials up the proof quite a bit, comes in at 110 proof, and it delivers a really well-rounded rye experience. Great balance of sweet and spicy. If you like vanilla, brown sugar, orange peel, clove, spice, give this one a try. It's got a 6-year age statement, and I feel like this one is just a bit overlooked, but it's a fantastic value at about 59 bucks. Next, I've got, wait a second. Have you even liked this video yet? Are you subscribed to the channel yet? Well, what are you waiting on? Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof. Now we're getting into the big hitters. This one is just an absolute monster. Just like the Single Barrel Proof bourbon, this is just crazy good. The proofs vary on these single barrels. This one is 127.3 proof. I've seen them up well over 135. It's 70% rye, 18% corn, 12% malted barley. All kinds of bold flavors here. Red fruit, butterscotch, cinnamon, caramel. Gigantic spicy finish. While the Green River may be the best value for an entry-level rye, this is probably the best value of any rye out there today at about 69 bucks. Next, you've got to try the Traverse City Whiskey Company Barrel Proof Rye. That's right, this one comes from right here in Michigan. It's a blend of their own distillate and MGP that they have contract distilled. Newer batches like this one are said to be produced, aged, and bottled in Traverse City, Michigan. All kinds of crazy flavor notes in this one. You get your dried fruits like apricot and cherries, maybe a little bit of chocolate in there. Just a really well-rounded, flavorful rye. This one is a single barrel pick from Total Wine. It carries a 5-year age statement, and it comes in at 118 proof. The single barrels that I've seen come in at just about 80 bucks. The last one on my list that you've got to try comes from Corbin Cash. This is their single barrel Merced Rye. Corbin Cash is a grain to glass distillery out in Atwater, California. This is a single barrel pick that comes in at 7 years old and a whopping 136 proof. It's got a very prominent nose, like baking spice and cinnamon clove, a good bit of oak due to the age. The finish is molasses and orange. It's thick. It's a truly exceptional experience. Probably a bit difficult to find unless you're out in California or if you're part of a group that might have a chance to do a single barrel pick. The experience comes at a bit of a premium. This one will cost you over $100, but I feel like it's definitely worth it. This was my rye of the year for 2023, and I'm not sure anything since has topped it. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. 9 ryes that you've got to try. Got a few entry-level ryes, a few intermediate ryes, and then you've got your big hitter ryes for those seasoned rye drinkers. If you tried any of these, let me know in the comments below. Are there any ryes that you think I should try? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and until next time, cheers. Stay jerky.